Guys, it's Laura from the CCSA. I hope you are doing well. I decided to go ahead and record my webinar so I could just get it out to you guys. We were having so many technical difficulties this morning with Join Me. Apparently they had some tower issues from the storm. So I thought I'd just give this a shot. It's very high tech. I don't want you to be intimidated at all. Seriously, my whole webcam right now is set up on like 2 phone books and a box of copy paper. So very high tech here at the CCSA. So I'm going to turn, my cameraman is going to turn to the screen here for you, and we're going to talk about press releases today. This came about in a one of the Make Your Most of Your Membership webinars that I do, and I do them every other month. And so this came about through one of those, and we had a member that was saying that she was having she needed some direction on press releases, and I have a marketing degree and worked in media for several years, so of course it landed on my plate. So I'm very happy to help. I actually volunteered for many nonprofits and was able to get some media attention and bypass all the clutter, so I am happy to help. What I did was I started with on our website. Once you log in, you go to let's see, Studio Operations, click down to Forms and Templates, and then you scroll down, and if you haven't been in here in a while, I would go ahead and take a look. There's a lot of new things in here: glass and model release and pottery exchange project sheets and pottery to go sheets. And down here there are press releases, and this is where you'll find the presentation we're going to go through. And then here are just some samples and tips, and I did them in a Word doc, and I also did them in a PDF. I can make changes to a PDF, but I know many of you cannot, so it's just in a simple Word document, so you can use those. I know that's probably easiest for you. And I'm going to go through our presentation, then we'll come back and I'll show you an example of a few of the press releases that I wrote for you all. We started this presentation and got a lot of this from Retail Minded, which is our new partner, and they're wonderful and were very helpful in getting me some of this information to help share with you. And we're going to talk about, why does publicity matter? Well, you know why publicity matters. You always want to keep your studio top of mind. You always want to be generating some buzz and conversation about your store, in your neighborhood, in your community, and it reminds existing customers of your store. And how do you get publicity? We've all heard about press releases, but what you don't know is that you need press releases and persistence. I can tell you for a fact, I work for an ABC television station, and we got approximately 200 to 400 press releases a day. It was in a large market, but still a lot of press releases, and a lot of people want publicity, and it's free publicity, and we all know how expensive advertising is, so this is a great way to get a little publicity for free. What you're going to need is perseverance, and you're also going to need some time. First thing we're going to start about, what is a press release? A press release is a statement prepared for distribution to the media. The goal of a press release is to share newsworthy information. The audience of a press release will vary from editors to producers to business professionals. Press releases should be written from a third-person perspective. They may be sent individually or as part of a press kit. We're not going to talk about press kits today. We're just going to talk about press releases. And so what should it say? What you want to do with a press release is you want to set yourself apart. You want to capture and captivate the attention of whoever the demographics for the media you're going after. So if you're going to do a kids camp, you definitely want to make sure you're targeting any of the parent magazines, the online blogs, the online websites for kids. You must answer in your press release who, what, where, when, and why. Why is it important? Where is it happening? When is it happening? Who is it for? And what does it all mean? So press releases must contain these 10 points. All the details, your number, your name, your email, your web address, someone or someone at your company, the reason or an event that's being discussed. You want to make sure it states that it's a press release. Provide release date at beginning of release, followed by city and state. And all this is going to be in the samples that we give you. The one thing, I know that you all are all artists. The most important thing here is this is not really an opportunity for you to get artsy. You need to make it in a very simple font, Times New Roman, Arial, something very simple. And you want to make it concise. Alright, so here's the example that they came up with for us. I'm going to show you some examples that I came up with for you. And here's some extra tips. Aim to be concise, clear, correct, and courteous. In every one of your communication efforts, always keep this in mind. Respect the media's limited time. They get pitched stories all the time, so be efficient in your communication, outreach, and general pitch. Practice makes perfect. Don't give up after writing a press release that doesn't get any response from the media. You know, if first you don't succeed, you have to try again. And like I said, the ABC station I worked at, we got hundreds a day. So maybe the big local television station in your market, maybe that's not the place to start, but like the Fox affiliates, or if your local cable company has a local news or a local station, that would be a good place for television. Like I said, anything. I mean, if you're going to do a dad's event for Father's Day, I would target every single male media outlet. Anybody who is targeting men. So if you see in the gym, you see the sports magazines, the local ones, your neighborhood magazines, maybe not even your neighborhood, but the neighborhood I live in has a little local magazine, Germantown magazine, here in Memphis, and it's just a small little magazine. It's probably 10 pages, and but it has a lot of local events. So things like that are great places, and they're usually looking for stories. A lot of people focus on the larger TV stations, newspapers, and things like that. Also, if you do a little investigating and dig around to find media contacts, go to if you've got like, a parent magazine in your area, go and find the editor, find, the news director, find the reporters, put all of those contacts into your database, and then email them all at one time. What is appealing to me may not be appealing to an editor or a reporter, so make sure that you're getting multiple contacts. You can submit stories online as well. I always submit the stories through their website, but then I also try and find a contact that I can actually send out something a little more personal to. Now, what will you write about? The key is to stand out from every other pitch. So you need to find your unique selling proposition. Dare to be different. Sell yourself, not just the products in the store. Position yourself as an industry expert, and that's not faking it till you making it. You guys are experts. Build off of a local or national buzz. Create newsworthy reasons people should care about your pitch. Be exciting, be friendly, and be relevant. Don't pitch a Father's Day story in December. That sort of thing. I'm just going to give you some of these. So now you have your story. Now what? Identify who you should pitch. Now we talked a little bit about this. I touched on it a little earlier. You want to find media sources, and I do it as simple as I have a spreadsheet in Excel. You want to find all the newspapers in your area, not just the big daily newspaper, any of the newspapers in your area. A lot of different communities have their own little paper. Community publications, regional publications, your local and regional TV stations. College newspapers are a great place. Any blogs, local and possibly national. Local business groups, the Lions Club, they send out, a weekly email to their members. That might be a good place. School districts, private businesses, anybody that you think that you would like to mail your press release to. Think outside your box. Yeah, are you confused yet? didn't know you had a box? Look at that old TV. Isn't that awesome? I did not put that graphic in there. Media sources will vary based on your business, your goals, and your pitch. Remember, non-traditional media sources often have internal communication outlets to share worthwhile news within. So how do you get contact details? You could go to your Chamber of Commerce. You could use their website. You can directly call them. You're having a slow day in your studio and you've got, an employee sitting around, and the studio is clean, there's no customers. Have that employee start working on building your list. It'll take you a little while to build your list, and it'll change because people in media change constantly. So you want to stay on top of that, and every couple of months go back and try and reach out and make sure that those same people are there. Seek desired media's social media accounts for contact details. You check on Facebook and there's contact details. That may or may not be the person that's putting something on their social media, but it might be just another contact. And the more you put it out there, you increase your odds of getting some attention. So how do you do that? Email them, and then call, and then email again. And remember, be concise, clear, correct, and courteous. And persistent. Respect their time, and yes, we know you're busy too. So here's just a few more tips. Make sure you're respecting the time of day you call an editor. Early mornings or late afternoons are typically most busy for them. Always introduce yourself to an editor-producer, even if you've met before. Before going into your monologue about why you are calling, ask your contact if they have a quick minute to talk. If you have to leave a message, speak clearly and quickly. And I know these sound simple, but it's just a reminder. Hold off for 36 hours before calling your contact again if you still have not heard from them. When speaking, give them enough information that they gain interest in your pitch. Be brief and sum it up. Remember, you're selling yourself. You're selling your event. This is free publicity for you. Return their phone calls in a timely fashion. You don't need to send them high resolution photos unless they request them. Use professional email accounts only versus private ones. Do not mark your emails as urgent unless they are, and I am really bad at that. I always mark mine urgent, and I'm sure that half the people delete them. And so you're almost ready to get started. So here's just a little reminder here of how to do it. And with the media, they plan out. Magazines plan out and print out far in advance. Sometimes there are deadlines for magazines. We just had a deadline for a July magazine for an ad, and today is the 29th of April. So you can't be last minute with these, especially with magazines. They plan far in advance, so make sure you have a good timeline and start early. You need to determine the newsworthy reason to pitch the press. You have to have something exciting. You're doing a fundraising event, handprints from mom. You now offer paw prints in clay. The second step, identify why this reason is newsworthy. Run it by others and hear their feedback and thoughts. I would practice your pitch. I don't know if you've heard of elevator speeches or not, but the premise is that you have 40 seconds in an elevator with somebody and you need to pitch them and sell them in that 40 seconds. So you need to get their attention, and I'd practice that a lot. When you call, don't talk about the weather or start off like that. Get right to the point and have your information concise and clear, and have a target reason for calling them. Determine the targeted media audience. Think of them as you move into step 4. Create a press release that answers the 5 W's while being interesting and remaining concise in content. And plan your timeline of media outreach. The 6th step is determine how you will send out these press releases. Vmail or online subscription outlets. Like I said, I would send them every way I could possibly. Then you send out your press release. Be patient. Step 8, you follow up to confirm the press details have been received. Ideally, use email for this and be patient. Return any phone calls or emails right away, but be persistent. Follow up again no sooner than 1 week later. A third follow-up is optional up to 3 weeks after the initial release. Always say thank you, whether you receive press or not. Let them know you appreciated their time. I do this personally. I like to send a handwritten note in the mail and then move on. And don't let it get you down because, like I said, media gets a ton of press releases. This is a way you can bypass paying for advertising if you can get a media outlet behind you, if you can get a magazine to write something about you. And just keep your eye out for opportunities, things that you're doing in your studio that you're doing differently. You know, they're always looking for good, different ideas and ideas that not everybody else has thought of. So think outside your box and be confident because we do some amazing things in our studios. And then you can walk the pink carpet. Sorry, I couldn't do red. But just remember, you won't always get the press you pitch. You won't always get the press you deserve. And you won't get any press unless you try. And it is, sometimes it's very hard, and it is, you know, you keep trying and trying and trying. But once you develop a good rapport with an editor or a reporter or someone on a news desk, then they're going to respect you and think of you. You'll come to mind. So just pitch the right contacts, have a solid, interesting story to share, refer to an editorial calendar when possible, do not lie or even fabricate a story, edit for grammar and spelling. By the way, I have Amy handy who does all my editing because I'm horrible at grammar and spelling. So thank you, Amy handy. Be realistic with your expectations, be nice, say thank you, respect their time, and be persistent. So this is just your review. Always answer the 5 W's, refer to the 4 C's, pitch accordingly, and be patient. So this is where I was going to ask you if you had any questions. Anybody? No? No questions? All right. I got off easy this time. So I'm going to show you in here, this right here, under the Forms and Templates, under Studio Operations, if you recall, this down here has the press releases. This, if you click on, goes right to that PowerPoint presentation. I'm sorry, I've got it in Acrobat for you. And then I did sample press releases for you. And these are just idea starters about Christmas, fundraisers, PYOP Day, teachers' gifts, school fundraisers. You know, some of these you may have, you know, a much better grasp on. Here's a school fundraiser, and it'll just download to your computer there. And then when you open it up, here's all the things we talked about. For immediate release, the perfect idea for a school fundraiser by name and company and the date. Put your city and state. And some of these are a little silly. You know, you can be a little silly. You'll see it's concise. I am very wordy, and everyone who works with me knows that. So it takes a lot of editing to get my work down to concise. This has the where. Here's where it is. Here's all the information down here. Here's how you contact the person. I even put a studio or a picture of a finished project just as a sample so they could see that. A lot of people don't put pictures on their press releases. With what we do, it's so visual. I tried to incorporate those wherever I could. And, you know, I'm sure you'll want to change that out and put one of your pieces in there. You'll put just a little sample blurb about your company, how long you've been in business, how much you give back to the community, anything that'll set you apart. Put that in there. So all you do is change this, and then you're ready to go. You can save it. There are a ton of, well, not a ton, there are a good number of samples here for you. And then there's not a sample of a media list, so you'll just have to need to start building it because it's so different in every community. So just start building your list, and don't give up. Oh, cameraman, over here. she is. So be persistent. You have to. Don't give up. You know, check your contacts on a regular basis to make sure that you're reaching the right person. Make sure that person is still there. The news desk at a TV station, the people that answer the phone at the news desk change week to week. College kids, interns, whoever's available will come and work the news desk. So it's not always the same person at the news desk. So make sure you're checking your connections and making sure you have, you know, the most updated person to reach there. I would reach out to everybody I could there. I would try anybody I could find an email address for. I would be singing my story, and just put that in your spreadsheet. It goes out as a mass blind copy, and we can send. People will tell you to individualize them and the email, and that is a great idea. Sometimes we're doing things on a national level, and I just hit blind copy and copy a lot of people on mine. So don't give up. Write clearly. See, that's where I need Amy handy. And, you know, just sing your song. Tell them your story. Tell them what you have going on in your studio, why you should get some recognition. And don't overlook radio stations. You know, they need stuff to talk about as well. So I would, you know, next time you're at the grocery store, pick up all of those publications that are by the door and look through there. Ask your neighbors, ask people, you know, do a poll in your studio. Ask them if they have a community newspaper or a neighborhood newspaper or a church newsletter, or if their kids' schools, you know, have a newsletter. My high school had, you know, a little weekly newsletter, and we were always looking for things. Of course, that was, you know, 2 years ago. It could have changed. Okay, it was 26 years ago, but who's counting? So don't give up. Have fun. Set yourself apart. And make sure that it is a newsworthy event. And that way you'll get lots of attention, I think. So there's some press releases for you on our website. You can create those. And if you create one better than that and you want to share, I will happily give you credit and put it on our website proudly. So thank you very much. I'm sorry that we had issues today with technology, but that's nothing that I could do anything about. And I hope you'll forgive me. And my assistant, Graceland, is around here somewhere, but I think it's siesta time for her. So you guys get out there and start singing your song to the media and getting some free press. Oh, also, I meant to tell you, I know you get 1,000 media reps in your place, stopping in, trying to sell you something. Whenever those people are in there, question them. What's the best way that I could, you know, get some press? Is there anybody that, you know, has a dog that would like to, you know, do a paw print? Or what are the charities that, you know, your news people or your reporters or your company get behind? And see if any of those mesh with anything in your studio that you do. So ask them who to send press releases to. And even though some of the people I did not buy media from, I would still send that media rep my press release and ask them to forward it on to the appropriate person as well. Even if I was sending it to the appropriate person, sometimes if somebody internally in that company forwards a press release to someone, you get a little more attention. So I would quiz all of those nasty salespeople that come in trying to sell you stuff. And so that's it for me. And this is where I would take questions. Any questions? Anyone? Yeah. I'm kidding. So post questions. Email me. I'm at laura@ccsaonline.com. Or post a question on Chatter when you see this video. And I'll try and get back with you as quickly as possible. Now I do want to show you one other thing in my office. The cameraman. This is my very clean house, except for all of this convention stuff that is now in my dining room, in my office, and in my dining room. So we are gearing up. Oh, there's Gracie. There's my assistant, Graceland. Hey, Grace. Want to come say hi? No? So if you are not planning on coming to convention, you're going to miss a lot of fun. And so start planning to come to convention. Join us. And you can see what's in all these boxes in my dining room and in my office. So take care. Send me questions and let me know if you need anything. And again, thanks for being a part of the CCSA. And thanks for your time today. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.